40 kilometers from the center of Beijing, there is a plain encircled by mountains. It is said that a miracle lies hidden deep within this place. This is the Ming Tombs, the largest and most complete imperial necropolis still existing in China. It is the final resting place of 13 emperors of the Great Ming Dynasty. Of the 13 mausoleums, only 4 are currently open to the public. The others remain sealed behind heavy gates. For 300 to 400 years, few have ever visited them. Today, with special permission from the park authorities, we've come to Kangling, the most recently open tomb, the joint mausoleum of the Zheng Emperor of the Ming Dynasty and his Empress Xia. As the hustle and bustle of the day fades away, this mausoleum takes on a deeper sense of historical poignancy. Whether it's the imperial tombs of the Han, Tang, Song, or Qing dynasties, they have either been severely damaged or completely plundered. But why are the Ming tombs, both above and below ground, still relatively intact? What is the secret to their survival to this day? Tomorrow at dawn, you can climb the old mountain opposite us to find the answer. Look, that is Jianshou Mountain, the dragon vein of the 13 tombs. In ancient Chinese feng shui theory, mountain ranges are symbolized as dragons and are called dragon veins. It may seem like nonsense, but it embodies the experience and wisdom of the ancients in there. Search for the ideal location. In Ming Dynasty feng shui theory, the central burial area is known as the auspicious acupoint. If you think of the tomb area as a throne, the mountain in front is like a desk, called the Table Mountain. The mountain behind is like a screen, known as the Screen Mountain. On either side are the azure dragon to the left and the white tiger to the right. The 13 tombs are nestled among these mountains, each one embraced by the hills. These mountain formations act like natural city walls, not only making the area easy to defend and hard to attack, but also helping to stop the spread of fire. At the end of the Ming Dynasty, during the change of power, the rebel leader Li Zikang once set a massive, raging fire in the 13 tombs. This is an illustrated book on imperial tombs written during the Kangxi reign of the Qing Dynasty. It contains a passage describing the scene of Kangling being engulfed by a furious blaze. What the flames left behind, broken tiles in a desolate garden. Only half of the drain gates for walls remained. This stone wall before us is what remains of Kangling. But even a fire as devastating as this was blocked by the mountains and did not spread to the other tombs behind them, because the tombs are arranged to guard the imperial family. The fires of war burned first at the outer mausoleums, allowing Kangling, the tomb of the Yongle Emperor, Judi, to escape the disaster. The Ling Hall of Kangling thus became one of the few sacrificial halls in the 13 tombs to survive that great fire. Its area is comparable to that of the Hall of Supreme Harmony in the Forbidden City. Inside the hall, a total of 32 massive pillars made of golden thread nanmu wood were used. This type of golden thread nanmu was considered a top-tier material in ancient times, taking at least a century to mature. It's said that to erect just one of these pillars here would have cost at least 10,000 taels of silver. Sheltered by the mountains, these incredibly luxurious structures were able to withstand the ravages of time. Through all the changes in the world, they have luckily been preserved. But simply choosing a site with good feng shui wasn't enough. The emperors would also painstakingly craft their own mausoleums in an attempt to take everything they enjoyed in life with them into the underworld. To this day, of all the 13 Ming tombs, only the Dingling tomb has been archaeologically excavated. And it was this very excavation that brought the emperor's grand, open strategy to light. In 1956, archaeologists began digging the first exploratory trench at the Dingling tomb. Shortly after the work began, they found exactly what they were looking for: 3 characters spelling out Tunnel Gate. This meant that this was the very entrance to the underground palace. But even for a team of professional archaeologists, it would take an entire year. They had to dig 3 exploratory trenches before they finally found the location of the wooden door. Behind this expertly hidden wooden door lay the emperor's many elaborate schemes. The resident guide here at Dingling showed me the secrets hidden within these very walls. The emperors of that era knew that countless people would covet the treasures they buried with them. But they also knew that no matter what kind of anti-theft traps they set, none could withstand the ravages of time. A wooden tomb, for instance, would eventually rot away. And metals like bronze and iron, they would inevitably rust. So the emperors abandoned these intricate traps and hidden mechanisms and turned to a strategy that was hidden in plain sight. That strategy was to build this massive burial mound you see before you. Within such a massive burial mound, the tomb chamber itself is comparatively small. It's no wonder that an ordinary person could never find the entrance to the tomb. Back then, the emperors would dispatch anywhere from 40,000 to 110,000 men to construct these burial mounds for them. The walls of the Dingling tomb alone required tens of thousands of bricks to build. Let's take a look at this very brick. 15th year of the Jiajing reign, made by Zhou Shilong. That's right, you can see the name of the craftsman and the date the brick was made. It also records where the brick came from. This made it easy for officials at the time to trace its origin. Its function was not unlike the QR codes we use today. And you'll find these kinds of brick inscriptions in other structures as well. And so, one sturdy brick after another formed an impenetrable wall for the burial mound, but hiding the wooden door was just the first small step. The most sophisticated anti-theft methods often rely on the simplest designs. Bury it deep. The coffin of the Wanli Emperor was buried in an underground palace, a full 27 meters beneath the earth. That's a depth equivalent to a 9-story building. Trying to dig through all that would be a nearly impossible task. This depth is equivalent to the height of a 9-story building. To clear and transport such an astonishing amount of earth would have been simply unimaginable in ancient times without excavators. But even if you reach the wooden door, not just anyone could get in. This vira wall in front of us is 1.6 meters thick and 8.8 meters high. Back then, this wall was sealed shut tight, and it took the archaeological team at the time about 4 months to finally open it. At this point, a magnificent underground palace finally appeared before the eyes of the archaeologists. The underground palace covers an area of over 1,000 square meters, which is large enough to fit 10 modern 100 square meter homes. Its layout is like a miniature version of the Forbidden City. The central hall contains a white marble throne arranged as if the emperor were holding court. Further back is the area where the bodies were placed, symbolizing the sleeping quarters. As for the most precious treasures, they were almost all inside the coffins and the surrounding chests and boxes. And the Wanli Emperor himself was wrapped in layer upon layer of treasures, showcasing his noble imperial status. This emperor, who had the longest reign of the Ming dynasty, perhaps never imagined that after more than 300 years, the world could still feel his majesty. So what kind of rare and precious treasures were buried in this underground palace? When the archaeologists opened the Wanli Emperor's coffin, the clothes on his body had already disintegrated, but you could still vaguely make out that it was a Cassie dragon robe. What you see here is a replica that we successfully recreated after consulting historical documents and materials. Experts from the Nanjing Yunjin Brocade Research Institute spent 2 years bringing it back to life. This is called the gold silk Yishan coronet, a personal item of the Wanli Emperor, Zhu Yijin. It is the only golden crown of an emperor ever discovered in Chinese archaeology to date. This one is the genuine article, from top to bottom. It was made using 518 strands of gold wire, each with a diameter of 0.2 millimeters. The dragon scales on it alone number 8,400. Each scale is relatively uniform, and the craftsmanship is extremely exquisite. This central gold hairpin with the character for longevity came from Empress Xiao Duan's coffin. It's inlaid with 4 rubies, 3 sapphires, 3 cat's eye gems, and a single emerald in the center. These are called the jade rabbit earrings, with a ruby set on each side of the eyes. The appearance of these gemstones suggests that the Great Ming Dynasty once had prosperous trade, relations with foreign countries. To this day, of the more than 3,000 precious artifacts unearthed from the Dingling Mausoleum, a large portion has still never been displayed to the public. And besides Dingling, the Ming tombs also hold the remains of 12 other emperors, along with their countless burial treasures. In other words, the number of treasures held in this enormous trove could be 13 times greater than what has been discovered so far. For hundreds of years, these treasures and their mysterious aura have captivated countless people. They come to the Ming tombs, hoping to catch a glimpse of the grandeur and prosperity of the great Ming Dynasty. The sprawling, leafy pine trees, the wild grasses that flourish and wither with the seasons. They conceal the splendor of the red walls and yellow tiles, and obscure the pride an emperor held in his life, and the glory he found in death. But this magnificent mausoleum, nestled among the mountains, is like a long, unfolding scroll, recording the people and events of an entire dynasty. The sorrows and joys of an era are all etched upon it. And it is thanks to the protection of these mountains and the strategic foresight of the emperors that all of this has survived to this day. Today, as we gaze upon the Ming tombs, they too gaze back at us, waiting to be awakened, waiting to be seen.